This is Chapter 7, Stage 2, Creating Alternate Layouts. Make sure that you read the section on 476 in the book. It's going to talk about sizes for different social media platforms. Every platform has a different image size requirement. We're going to be looking at creating a new file for digital publishing. We're going to design social media graphics for a Facebook story, an Instagram story, and an X in-stream. We're going to be using InDesign's alternate layout functionality. With Soccer Flyer open, you're going to choose File, New Document. Choose the mobile option. Unfortunately, InDesign does not include the common social media platform size in the built-ins. The web and mobile categories, however, default 2 pixels as the default unit of measurements, and that can be useful when you're designing for digital. We're going to change the name to Soccer Social. Make the width 1080 pixels by 1920, and make sure you don't check the primary text frame. Make sure that's unchecked, and then select Create. Save the file as Soccer Social. We're going to use the content collector and the content placer. For this particular exercise, we don't need to worry about the structure pane, so it's perfectly fine for that to close. I'm also going to park my paragraph styles and move my tags. With Soccer Flyer active, I'm going to pick up the content collector tool. Make sure you choose the collector tool and not the placer tool. We'll use that later. The arrow in the collector tool icon points down. When you choose the content collector or content placer, the content conveyor automatically appears. Click the text frame with the announcement Spring Open House to collect it. When you select an object with the content collector, it's added to the content conveyor. The cursor icon shows how many objects are currently stored in the conveyor. Click the text frame with the client's web address. Click the large image frame at the top of the page and the logo. Make your Soccer Social file active and press the B key to switch to the content placer tool, or you can select it in the collector conveyor. Check the Create Link and Map Styles boxes at the bottom of the conveyor. Make sure the first placement option is selected at the bottom of the conveyor. It's the Place, Remove from Conveyor, and Load Next button. Press the right arrow on your keyboard to navigate to the large image. At this point, you may realize that you really need to see the full page, so you should be able to click on the conveyor to move it out of the way. And then you're going to place your large image right in the top corner. Hold down your Shift key as you are clicking and dragging to hold the proportions correctly, and you're going to drag across and down until you get a cursor feedback of 1080p by 1920, which should, I believe, cover the entire page. Yes, that will cover the full page. Then you can release your mouse and your Shift key. The placed object is now removed from your conveyor. Use your Control key or check in your Properties panel to make sure that the top left corner of that placed object is indeed at 00 And we can do that in the transform panel by checking and making sure that the placement is where it should be. The logo is now active in your content conveyor. You want to place the cursor at the top margin guide where the horizontal ruler shows X 400 pixels. With the content placer tool still active, click and drag right until the preview frame aligns to the right margin guide. Looking at the bottom half of the layout page, press the right arrow key to make the web address text frame active in the content conveyor. Place the cursor at the left edge of the page where the vertical ruler reads Y at 1800. So let's look for 1800, which is going to be right here. And we want to be at the margin. And we're going to shift click and drag to the bottom right corner of the page. That leaves us the announcement text frame active in the content conveyor. We're going to place the cursor at the left edge of the page where the vertical ruler shows 1500 pixels and shift click and drag until the cursor feedback shows the new object dimensions as 700 by 320. When you use the content placer with the Create Links option checked, the contents you place is linked to the original file. It's not just a copy. If you need to make changes, you can edit the original flyer content and the changes will be automatically updated through the Links panel wherever you placed instances of the shared content. Because InDesign keeps track of link update status just like it does for regular placed images, you don't really need to worry about forgetting to make the changes in any specific file. However, if you make a change to a linked object and then later update the links, you are warned that your edits in the linked copies will be lost. In this project, you're going to modify the linked objects and define settings that will protect your changes. With Soccer Social open, choose the selection tool and then click anywhere on the pasteboard to be sure that nothing is selected. Open your paragraph styles and you're going to make these changes to the paragraph styles. Web address, change the type size to 70 points. In announcement, change the type size to 90. And the leading to 95. Using the type tool, put an insertion point before the word open and then shift enter to add a soft return character. In your links panel, click to select the frame item for the Soccer Kids JPEG. Right-click the selected item and choose Unlink. Do the same thing to unlink the frame that contains the logo. You may want to expand your links panel so that you can see the names completely. Let's move that around. We're going to unlink the frame that contains the placed logo. So it's going to be logo, this one. Select that, right click, and unlink. Select the frame for the announcement text, right click it, and choose Link Options. In the Preserve Local Edits area, make sure Size and Shape is checked and click OK. Do the same thing for the frame that contains the web address. We're going to check this out. Make the soccer flyer active. Select the frame containing the announcement text and change the fill color to the red swatch that's been saved. Save the flyer file and you can close it. Take a look again at the links panel. Select the modified link and then click Update Link. You can save your file and continue with the next section. We're going to be working with the liquid layout. We're going to create an alternate layout that reverses the aspect ratio so that you could take a cell phone and turn it sideways. Before you create that alternate layout, we're going to use the liquid layout feature to control the size and position of the page elements in the different orientations. Working with the Soccer Social file, we want to see that entire page, and let's close up these links panels and get these out of the way. Choose the Page tool and open the Liquid Layout panel. You're going to go to Window Interactive and pick Liquid Layout. In the panel, under Liquid Page Rules, make sure you have Object-Based selected. We're going to see what this is going to look like. So with your Page tool, you're going to click on the bottom right corner of the page, right on the corner, and drag up and over so that we can see what this layout is going to kind of look like. We want to go somewhere around 1920 by 1080. We're just reversing what we had for this particular build. When you release the mouse, it's going to pop right back where it was. We want to work on the bottom section of this page, so let's zoom into this so we can get everything set up correctly. Still with the Page tool, you're going to click to select the web address frame at the bottom of the page. In the layout, click those hollow circles that are on the sides and the bottom of the frame. This is going to pin this. Make sure, come on, let me get that selected. There we go. Circles outside the frame act as pins, connecting a frame edge to the related page edge. When you pin a particular edge, it will retain the same distance from the page edge even after the page is resized. A solid circle means that side is pinned. Now select the announcement frame, and in the Liquid Layout panel, check the height and width options in the Resize with Page. So make sure height and width are checked, and you're going to make sure to check the left, the right, and the bottom in the pin section. In the Control panel, click the Landscape orientation to preview the results of your Liquid Layout settings. Let's zoom out so we can see what we've got here. Zoom in a little bit on here. Let me move this centered a little bit better. And then click Portrait so that you restore the original layout. Using the Page tool, click to select the large format frame. In the Liquid Layout panel, check both dimensions, height and width, and check all four sides in the pin section. Again, with your Page tool, click to select the logo frame, and in the Liquid Layout panel, uncheck both dimensions in Resize and check top and right in the pin section. Now in the Control panel, click the Landscape orientation button again. In the Control panel, click the Portrait button to restore it back.